Hello everybody, and welcome back to another World of Tanks video. Today we are taking a look at a replay of myself in the brand spanking new Panzer 58 Mutz. Now I really enjoy this tank, but before I get into this tank and stats, let's just take a look at the matchmaking here. We're on a tier 8 match with a rather high chance to win on Erlenberg, and I've spawned on the west side of the map. I intend to use my speed and my view range to spot for the team and get into an aggressive position. So what I'm going to try to do is get to the D2 position, or D3, a bit where the enemy IS, or the enemy allied IS-3 is pinging for us. I really like to get into this position, particularly when I have good gun impression, because I've got good view range and I can spot a lot of tanks there, and a lot of tanks can then be destroyed by my allies who camp traditionally at G1 and H1. The tank destroyer, derp, not derp, not necessarily, but the camping position. That's what I wanted to say. So I make my way up here and I immediately spot this other brand new tier 8 premium tank, the American tier 8. I forget what it's called, the Ripper pattern I believe. Not entirely certain. Peek up a little bit to see if there's something else behind him. For now there's nothing, but things will improve here, at least for the spots. But about this tank, why do I like it so much? Well, first of all, it has a decent gun, in the sense that it has very nice penetration and 200 damage is not too bad. Unfortunately the rate of fire is a bit disappointing considering its alpha damage, so its DPM is actually rather low. 1800 I believe it was, but anyway it's very low. Definitely also compared to other tier 8 premium tanks currently in the game. But what does this tank have of other good things about it? Well, first of all, it's very nimble, it's quick. And what I like most about it is it has a very nice gun depression. It has 10 degrees of gun depression over the front and over the sides, so you can definitely do a lot. Not very happy about my movements here. If that Ripper pattern would have still been there, he would have probably been able to get a shot into me, so it was a bit of a derpy move of me there. And I don't really get anything out of it anyway. He was expecting me, even if he would have been there. So I continue to try and spot for the team forwards and use the gun depression at the same time. If anything pops up a bit too high, then I've got shots on it. And then I spot the Tiger too. Now the Tiger misses, for which I'm lucky, but it's also a bit of a strange position for him to be in at this point in time. It will only be useful once my team pushes on. Missed that shot unfortunately, and there's also an IS-3, and here I get spotted. Now, about my Sixth Sense icon, the I exposed myself. This is actually a bit of an inside joke, so to say. One of my friends, Korzakov, those of you who view my channel more often will know him. He saw one of my earlier replays in which I say where I blunder around the corner and get shot, and at that point in time I say I exposed myself. Now, I believe this is actually perfectly normal and no secondary interpretations are possible for this in English, or well, they are possible, but they're not really that heavy, so to say. But yeah, apparently Korzakov seems to think that it in fact is, and that exposing oneself could be interpreted very easily to be something that's really not. Or what I don't intend by it anyway. So perhaps Korzakov is right, and the dirty-minded among us have found it very easy to find an alternative meaning to this. But yeah, rather than changing my already limited English vocabulary, I decided to simply embrace it and take it as my Sixth Sense icon. So yeah, that's the story behind my I exposed myself Sixth Sense icon. Get a bit lucky with that bounce, by the way, and up till now I've been able to do a fair bit of damage. People have not been focusing me. But yeah, thanks to my spotting, people have been dying a lot, and I got to track that IS-3, got to track this Panzer, this Jagdpanther. I do try to go for these shots. And I must say I'm starting to get better at it. I've done 2000 damage already, and I've done an enormous amount of spotting also. So at this point in time, this flank is completely won, and I'm not sure what would have happened if I wouldn't have been here. The IS-3 does not have a very good spotting range, and yeah, I doubt if there had been enough view range on that flank to do the damage that was done now. Well, a lot of tanks here. Get a bit unlucky with that shot on the Tiger. I was actually aiming for an engine shot there, but it flies low. Does so again and only damages his tracks. Getting a bit unlucky here. Take a blind shot, but immediately after I take the blind shot I see that he actually moved a fair bit forwards. Decide to aim for the turret again, and instead blow his tracks off. So that works for me. Again aim for the tracks. I bounce for some reason off of the airs of a Tiger II, and I have 200mm of pen, so World of Tanks happened, I suppose. And this is basically mob up at this point. Get a bit unlucky with the shot on the Ripper pattern. Should probably have just hit. Shoot his tracks off. Again, the Ripper pattern gets lucky. I can pretty much pen him on any part of his tank at this point. And then the Tiger II just blunders in front of my gun. I must be honest, I didn't really think the Tiger II was in the position that he was. So I suppose this was my fault that I shot him. And really seen how the Tiger was moving. I thought he was far more to the foreground, so to say, but he wasn't, and I accidentally shot him, so sorry Mr. Tiger 1 on my team. Let's see where he is. Petty 1999. Very sorry for the shot. Would have otherwise killed the enemy tank, but yeah, my fault. Now the Jagdpanther is still here. I'm expecting him to drive forward, but he doesn't. So I decide to get around his rear and try and get a shot in there. But he appears to have a bit of a feel of what's going to happen here. Apparently being shot at by high explosive from the IS-3 or the Charioteer, I'm not really sure. Suppose it makes sense, but oh well. Now I'm going to go arty hunting. Now I don't actually need to destroy them myself. I just need to spot them. So I'm going to what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go around wide. This way they have a minimal chance of actually hitting me. Try to make my movement erratic. And I know our arty is currently aiming at him. That M12 gets extremely lucky and I get lucky afterwards. The reason I get lucky is because I actually destroyed his gun there. And this M43 is the one that actually fired earlier, and at this point in time I simply cannot lose anymore. So there we go, IS-3 finishes off the M12, and that was the match. So we can see that the M12 actually didn't destroy his gun, but I apparently was able to damage his gun and injure his gunner, and in both of those shots I somehow was unable to damage the tank. So this M12 got extremely lucky that I didn't just pen him twice and kill him. But oh well, all in all I think I did rather well. Was able to do 2897 damage myself, and I got an ace tanker. Also got a Confederate, of course. As you can see I damaged a lot of tanks. But an ace tanker for 2800 or 2900 damage is not a lot. But we can see that the assistance damage is almost 5000. So rather nice. And we can see that I came second on damage done. This Charioteer got first. But he was actually behind me on the standard tank destroyer camping position, firing at the tanks that I was spotting for him. And 1572 base experience is very nice indeed. When we take a look at the more detailed stats, we can see that I fired 26 shots, of which 18 penetrated. My accuracy could have been better this match, but I'm not super unhappy about how that went. 14 of those penetrated, of which 2 of the non-penetrating hits were actually against this I believe the M12 that actually counted, which was a bit BS if you ask me, but the guy got lucky, so I suppose I shouldn't complain. Damage done is of course nice, only 500 of which from a distance greater than 300 meters, which makes sense. We were in an aggressive position, so close up. Now then a whole lot of stats. Hits received 2, 1 penetrated, 1 didn't. Apparently blocked 320 damage with my armor. That was the Panzer shot. Got very lucky with that. When we take a look at the damage upon detecting, however, we can see that 4000 damage we did on detecting, which is very, very, very nice indeed. All of those tanks that were being killed on that flank I was at were actually being spotted by me. Also able to get about 900 more assistance damage on the tracking, and that was for the few tracking shots that I took. Probably the IS-3 and the Jagdpanther, if I'd had to guess. Moved about 2.5 kilometers, which is yeah, around about normal, I would say. Was my double of the day, which is of course also very nice. Over 3000 experience on my crew here, and a very, very nice amount of money as well. This is a very good money maker, this tank. So all in all, I'm really enjoying it for that as well. As we can see, even without a premium account, 55,000 silver is very, very nice. With a premium account, I would have gotten 1,300 and 133,000 credits. That's what I wanted to say. Didn't come out quite right. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this replay. I sure as hell enjoyed playing it, and I'll see you for the next one.